Welcome back to another part of Higurashi when they cry. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. It felt like I was watching a boat when you throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then saying to contact him if something happened. A bit hard for him to be contacted if, well, he's dead. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing, and I was just a bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Or would it really be Yoshiro-sama's curse? Can you really call the fish a perpetrator, though? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. Did I literally stop a minute before the end of the chapter? Okay, it's just an interlude. I wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. It was probably Mum. Mum was quite the worrywart. Maybe she'd called many times, but I just didn't notice it.
もしもし、前原ですけど。
お、生きてた。もしもし。
Hello. Totally not a murderer person.
ミオンだけど。具合はどう？
ん？圭一のお友達ですか？圭一は休んでますけど。変わりましょうか？
え？あ、お父様で？
Talking of a phone can be complicated.
すみません。
So we've got a nice effect though for the voice.
バカで引っかかってやがるよ。
え？じゃ
After our exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Except I was suspicious of her even as we were both laughing. Was everyone really involved in the incident? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened me.
元気そうで安心したよ。レナもすっごく心配してたよ。
I'm sure she was.
サトコはざまあないですわって喜んでたな。
So maybe she was suspicious. Yeah, you're still just as terrible as always.
リカちゃんは病気でかわいそうですってさ。
チェ、みんなで勝手に大盛り上がりしてたみたいだな。
まあまあ。でさ、ケイちゃん、お見舞いに行っちゃ都合悪いかな。
お見舞い？
Why do I want to pay him a visit?
いいよ、そんな。重病人ってわけじゃないんだから。
うちのバッチャが山ほどおはぎを作ってさ。
Okay. Fair enough.
お裾分けに持ってけって言ってんだよ。
Although I am suspicious.
だから持ってくね。
おいおい、風が移っても知らねえぞ。
おじさんもレナもおバカさんだから大丈夫。じゃあね。
I remember that
すぐ行くから。
She hung up cheerfully. I've never expected someone to say it about themselves though. Rena's coming too? That's what it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Rena, but I guess if she was with Mion. I'm not too sure about that. I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later.
どんな感じ？ちゃんと薬飲んで寝てた？
そりゃもうしっかりとな。
元気そうでよかった。心配してたんだよ。
悪かったな。明日にはもう大丈夫だよ。
Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and Rena looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I was expecting like between, so like maybe they could average each other out.
ちょっとお邪魔しようかと思ったけど、まだ本調子じゃないみたいだね。
そうか?
It seemed my face appeared a bit sullen.
じゃあこれ、ケイチくん、みーちゃんのおばあちゃんが作ってくれたおはぎだよ。
Rena held out the package wrapped in newspaper. Oh, there might be about 5 in here. It was quite hefty.
あ、サンキューな。ミオンのばあちゃんによろしく伝えといてくれよ。
その中にね、レナが作ったのも混じってるんだよ。
You did you?
ケイチくんに見つけられるかな?
Yes, all you have to do is smell it and see if it has some Rena's smell on it. Yeah. Bring that picnic back up again.
これ、今日の部活を欠席したケイちゃんへの宿題ね。おはぎにアルファベットがついてるから、明日
お見舞いなのか部活なのか、どっちかにしろ。
Lessons on each motif. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Machiro. I don't know anymore. I'm tired.
元気元気。これなら明日は大丈夫そうだね。
This probably isn't the type of game to play at night.
この騒ぎで熱がぶり返したらどうしてくれんだよ、まったく。
みーちゃん、あんまり騒いじゃ悪いよ。もう行こう。お家の人にも怒られるよ。
Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess.
そうだね。もう行こっかね。あ、そうそう、ケイちゃん。
なんだよ。
お昼。
Okay.
何食べた
？You've got dead eyes. The sudden question startled me and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I mean, on the plus side, we know he's not going to die for a year, right? Surely. Maybe not. I'd never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. But why? She asked me about what I ate for lunch. What she said was so inane, it was almost meaningless. But oddly specific. Like she knows that you went somewhere. It is a small town after all. The way she said it, it's almost like she didn't even care at all about what I ate.
表で食べたよ。
She must have suspected that I was with Oishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried answering as quickly as possible. Except you stuttered. Except, contrary to the efforts I made, there was a pause before they replied.
ケイチくん、お昼は外食だったんだね。
This is, the glimmer from Rena's eyes had changed at some point as well. It was now sharp, as if to make me feel the feigned ignorance behind her words even more. They looked less evil in the old sprites and more just like dead on the inside. Like they don't have the whole angry expressions to them, but in this, like that looks evil. That's more like, oh, I guess I'll kill you then. Like, without any malice behind it, but still creepy and murderous and dead. You know, typical things, right? So she already knew. That's how it looked to me.
どう？美味しかった？
Oops. Oh, did my settings get changed? There shouldn't be voice matching. That was the wrong button.
なんでそんなことを聞くんだよ。
Says voice matching is at 0, but that was still synced. Mion was speaking in an unusually low tone, almost as if she knew that I'd eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There was no way they could have known where I was, right?
渋いおじさまとご一緒だったみたいだけど。誰？
I feel this looks creepy. I don't know which one's creepier. They're both creepy. Flop. The package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale.
へえ。
I kind of imagine her with a smile now. Oh, she doesn't have a smile.
ケイチくん、それ誰？ひょっとして、この間の人かな？
Kana? Are you gonna give another kana?
かな？
Hey! It's still creepy. I could feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew everything? If they knew everything, then they wouldn't be asking.
なんでそんなことわかるんだよ。
It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking.
さーてね。
Besides, he hasn't brought anything good to you. He's only brought conflict with Renna and Mion.
おじさんにわからないことはないからね。
Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever.
で、ケイちゃん、何のお話をしてたの？
Yeah, there's no way to hide it. Either he says it, and we know, or he says, we weren't doing this, and that's pretty much a confession as well.
ずいぶんと熱くなってたみたいだけど。
Huh, how would you have known about that?
みんなの話はしてないよ。
Yeah, that's pretty much a confession. That's suspiciously specific denial.
ミオンともレナとも関係ない。
Yeah. Okay, that's a smile. Now they don't look as creepy anymore. I don't know. Just something about them doesn't look as creepy as that. Just look at that.
聞いてもないのにレナたちの名前が出るなんて、なんだか怪しいな。
Yeah, Keiichi, you're not very smart. Rena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much, it felt like it was going to explode.
何を隠れてやろうとも、おじさんにはすべてお見通しってこと。それだけを忘れないでくれればいいかな。
Okay. I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly.
ケイチくん、顔色悪いよ。もう横になった方がいいと思うな。そうだね。私たちはもう帰ろう。
Okay, now it sounds like we've gone back to normal. As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare. As if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Ooh, just as the door was just about closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing once more. A single eye peered in through the narrow slit, and Neon's hawkish gaze peered at me once more. Okay, if he didn't move, how did the chain get connected? Unless they somehow connected it as they left, and then let it just close. Your voice really doesn't match your face right now. Okay, let's not miss school tomorrow. Thud. The door closed. I wasn't even able to move a muscle, even after their low laughter died off into the distance, and silence once again enveloped the room. Only the Higurashi now. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Hoishi-san and I talked about? I mean, you can first, really. Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard from the beginning when Hoishi-san met me. Just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. Then, what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked to Hoishi-san about one thing. They were warning me that it was unnecessary. What was it that Hoishi-san talked to me about? No idea. No, you've got, at this point you've got to say no idea. Talks? I don't even remember that. No, that never happened. The incidents involving Oishiro-sama's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases. Of course they were. But connected as a whole. Nonsense! As well as the fact that there may have been multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. They've all been caught, right? No, more precisely. But Mion, Rena, Satoko and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Ha! Those girls, how could they possibly be suspicious? Am I right? Yeah? Is that what they were warning me against? I'm sure they're just worried about you. I hit my own face hard enough that it let out a loud snap. If only that would wake me from this nightmare. But for some reason, it felt like I was punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiji Maibara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down, calm down. Settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Oishi-san was probably because someone from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the time. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had any ulterior motives. Except I think she did ask where you ate. And got worked out about it. Oh, what did you eat for lunch, not where? Never mind. That's it. That has to be it. How would they know if he even ate lunch? Technically, his lunch was homemade. Like, the leftovers and all. Thinking about it that way, it was the same with Rena. I was just feeling strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rena was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by this change in character from the usual mild manner of Rena, and was just startled by it. Yeah, that's the most natural way of thinking about it. Felt like my mind was mixed up in a tangled mess of spaghetti. Tasty. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. Maybe not the best analogy for you to go for, Thinking about that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. Yeah, I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. Yeah, honestly, it might just be best if you go mad. Then you don't have to worry about anything. It didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people, yeah. When I just moved here and couldn't make any heads or tails of everything, they were really kind to me. Ren was really kind and always looked after me, just like how they looked after Tomitake-san. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she really was pretty cute. Oh, cute. Mion was also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender, and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. Talking about not getting bored, Rambunctious Satoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Especially since her brother went missing. Riki-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often. That didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. But after hearing of the better untold secrets of Hinamizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitake-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. Then hearing from Oishi-san that Mion, Rena, Satoko and Riki-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Oishi-san told me all that strange stuff, yeah. At that time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories, yes. I shouldn't have even asked Tomitake-san about past incidents on the night of Onikakushi. I just hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity. I just hadn't. That's right. So that's why they... I feel like that's probably less ambiguous. Maybe I should have put an extra star, like murdered. That's 5 letters, murd, right? M-U-R-D-E-R. So they need 6 stars there, not 4. So that's why they murdered Tomitake-san. Or killed, that fits. Never mind. That impudent outsider speaking to the likes of me after everyone went out of their way to keep it a secret from me. Really, they were just trying to be nice to me, keep it out of my way. He just had to ruin it. They had no choice but to kill him, really. They'll probably kill Oishi-san as well. For trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left buried. Except he's probably, like, not even thinking of the word kill. He's probably just like, that's probably why they... Tomitake-san. They'll probably Oishi-san as well. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course a guy like this is going to be killed. But if Tomitake-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. I mean, he was an honorary citizen. Those guys should just fall to Oyashiro-sama's curse and just die. That's the spirit. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. 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 I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling, like I'd just gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I'd completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. Like the umbrellas. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them after all.
あ、そうだ。おはぎ食べないと。どれがレナの手作りか当てないといけないんだよな。
I remember the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But wow, our club did delivery? That was something else. I picked up the package I dropped on the floor and headed into the living room. It'd be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. To fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this is quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. Oh. 1 for each year of murders. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. Now then. They said Rena made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. You mean you couldn't smell Rena on one of them? This was a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out.
この一個がレナのか否かが勝負の分かれ目みたいだな。
Calm down and think even harder. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out if I remembered correctly. So that meant 4 of these were from that large batch. And what about Rena? She made it especially for you. She probably only made 1. She probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning the one Rena had made was this one. E. For a moment I thought it may have been trap Mion had laid as she knew I'd pick up on it. That probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since she said Rena had made it, it probably wasn't a trap.
よし。お茶も準備 OK。まずはディフェンディングチャンピオンのミオンのばあちゃんからだ。どれ？
Not bad. Smooth bean taste and soft chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of artwork. Now how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size of the portion. But, well, first, a bite. This was quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same, so there was little difference in flavour. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So the deciding factors would be presentation and volume. The well-formed and well-sized champion versus Rena, the challenger, with a size you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had 1 bite of Rena's. I'd probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something inside that could cause an upset. Why? Seems my prediction was right. Got a bad feeling about this. My tongue touched something. Didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in with my fingers and grabbed it. What? What was this? I don't like where this is going. Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. It slammed against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. Then, after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? When I had gone out of her way to make it for me, how could I? Dumbstruck, I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act. Then I remembered what I'd taken out of my mouth. At first I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Mion's, Rena's hair was still quite long. And it wasn't this short. It was also a bit too hard to be a hair. It was thick enough to roll around on my tongue. There was a bit of metallic sheen on one end of it, and yes, there was a hole for where a thread goes through, like it was a sewing needle. Yes, that's right. It looked very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well, quite sharply. It really did looked just like a sewing needle. Huh. What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle? Just a bit ago? I couldn't answer. But a voice inside me already knew, and let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't stave off the terror welling up inside me. Suddenly I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain at the back of my throat. I stuck my finger in the back of my mouth and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly I felt the urge to vomit. That tends to happen when you stick your fingers down your throat. The sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both hands over my mouth, but after arriving in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again, but this time my heart was throbbing intensely. Then it finally registered. Exactly what was mixed in with the mochi. Before I could think of a correct word, my hands were already on the move. Splat. Plop. Splot. I tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. The geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam of walls suddenly invoked a terrible omen in my mind. After looking away, I dashed out to the hall and flew upstairs to my room, where I stayed under my covers until morning. If the other mochi were probably fine. I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of fear, anger, sadness, and frustration. This wasn't a fresh warning or a reminder, nothing as simple as that. What had happened in Hinamizawa? What's happening in Hinamizawa? What would happen? I didn't know the answer to any of those questions. Where did I break a taboo? Regardless, now, Rena and Mion, and the others, were considering me an enemy, and they thought I should just die. I won't let you kill me, not for such a pointless reason. I fell into a restless sleep as I was crushed by my negative emotions. It was as if I was being drawn into a billowing, bottomless marsh. So yeah, on that note, I'm probably going to end that there for tonight. Hard to swallow. You don't say. Yeah. I hope you've enjoyed that, whatever that was. Let me know any feedback in the comments, and I'll see you all next time. Also, before I go, there might be times where I just want to let you know, there might be times I might not always have a video out, since uni classes and all. I'll try to prepare a backlog so that it doesn't, when I have 3 weeks kind of, but at some point I'm going to get into midterms and finals, and so the backlog might not last through those. Yeah, I'll try to keep up on top of things, but yeah. Anyway, until next time, see ya.